Hare Krishna. So yesterday we had completed till first chapter 41st verse of Bhagavad Gita. Today we'll go to 42nd verse. Doshir eta kulagnanam varna sankara karakai utsad utsadyante jati dharma kula dharmascha shashvatam. Synonyms: doshe, by such faults, etai, all these, kulagnanam, of the destroyers of the family, varna shankara, of unwanted children, karaka, which are causes, utsadyante, are devastated, jati dharma, community projects, kula dharma, family traditions, also shashwata, shashwata, eternal. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. By the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities are devastated. So, we saw yesterday also, last time, Arjuna is continuing to give different reasons why he is not willing to fight the battle. And so this is further, he's continuing. So, by the evil deeds of those who destroy the family traditions because of this battle, so the elder members will be killed. That's what the reason he gave in the previous verses. Elder members will be killed, and so people in the family, there'll be no one to guide on the religious principles and all. Then women will become there'll be no proper religious practices, so that will not be very favorable for the women, and therefore it may give rise to unwanted population and so on. So that all this is expected to happen as per Arjuna because of this battle. So whoever will be involved in this, so by the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kinds of community projects, family welfare activities are devastated. Okay, so because of that um, unwanted children and all, so there is no religious practice, and therefore whatever community projects, family welfare activities they might have done, so they are not well trained in anything, so all these will be devastated. So Papa Prabhupada is mentioning a much better way, community projects for the four orders of human society combined with family welfare activities as they are set forth by the institution of Sanatan Dharma or Varnashram Dharma are designed to enable the human being to attain his ultimate salvation. Therefore, the breaking of the Sanatan Dharma tradition by irresponsible leaders of society brings about chaos in that society, and consequently people forget the aim of life, Vishnu. Such leaders are called blind, and persons who follow such leaders are sure to be led into chaos. So present day situation also we see like this. Neither the leaders are Krishna conscious, nor because they are not Krishna conscious themselves, so their followers are also not Krishna conscious, and therefore both of them are actually leaders leading the followers to hell. They are going to hell, and the followers are also going to for the same destination. Okay, we'll go to the next verse, 43rd verse. Utsana kula dharma nam manushyanam janardana narake niyatam vasho bhavati anushushrumam. Synonyms: Utsana, spoiled, kula dharmanam, of those who have the family traditions, manushyanam, of such men, janardana or Krishna, narake, in hell, niyatam, always, vasa, residence, bhavati, it so becomes, iti, thus, anushruma, I have heard by disciplic succession. Translation: O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by disciplic succession that those whose family traditions are destroyed dwell always in hell. So we can see here also that Arjuna is not saying all these, whatever reasons he is giving for not fighting. Yes, so whatever reasons Arjuna has been giving, it's not like whimsically, But as he mentions, you have heard by reciprocal succession, those family traditions and so on. So from there are different shastras, like artha shastra, dharma shastra, then like based on dharmic, based on morality, based on political principles and so on. So accordingly he's according to such based on morality, for example, as earlier also we saw that one who is committed the six kind of, who falls under six kind of aggressors, then according to from scriptural point of view also, they can be killed, or such a person aggressor can be killed. But there Arjuna was giving a higher principle of morality, like okay, it is true that they can be killed, but one should be it's better for us to be forgiving. So that's a higher principle. A saintly person is always forgiving and so on, like that. So there are different levels, based okay, politically something may be correct, but higher principle could be morality, or saintly person is generally into morality and all. So from that basis, he has given all these reasons. It's not that like for us, when we conditioned souls, we may give some justification to do something for our sense gratification. Then there may not be any basis on as per the scriptures. But Arjuna is not doing something, saying, giving reasons. He's not giving whimsical. These are whatever reasons he is giving, that's fact. But the highest principle is Krishna consciousness. So there are different the highest principle, there are different principles, but the highest principle is Krishna consciousness. So that we will see further in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so purport Arjuna bases his argument not on his own personal experience, but on what he has heard from the authorities. So because our experience from for a conditioned soul, now Arjuna is his case is like different, because he's a pure devotee, but he's setting an example that a conditioned soul, we shouldn't conclude something or so based on our experience or what we think is right. Sometimes we say, oh, I think this is so, or this has to be like this, or something like that, or this scripture, this is what the meaning, this is what the meaning of the verse or something is. But it shouldn't be I think. Gurudev used to say, I think means I sink, because we are not so elevated or something that okay, we can give our but basically we should see what the acharyas have explained a particular verse, or what understanding they have given to us. So it shouldn't be based on our personal. Now somebody may have Krishna conscious realization or so that is a different thing, but shouldn't be based on sense gratification in any case, or our motive for sense gratification in any case, but on what he has heard from the authorities. That is the way of receiving real knowledge. One cannot reach the real point of actual knowledge without being helped by the right person who is already established in that knowledge. There's a system in the Varnashram institution by which before death one has to undergo the process of atonement for his sinful activities. One who is always engaged in sinful activities must utilize the process of atonement called prayaschit. Without doing so, one surely will be transferred to the hellish planets to undergo miserable lives as a result of sinful activities. So, this is a very important point, that in order to reach factual, in order to get the real knowledge on any topic, transcendental, or even if you want to become a doctor, then you need to have the knowledge, based on medical whatever education and all. But you cannot just buy those respective books and study by yourself and become a doctor. No, you have to take training from a more experienced person. From, you have to go enroll yourself into a college, get hear the lectures and so on, take guidance from the teachers there, and so finally you can come out as a medical doctor. So, without being helped, one cannot reach the real point of actual knowledge without being helped by the right person. So, an authority is needed. Even in material life, we see some authority is needed. And authority means what? Sometimes the teacher sees that child is being naughty or doing something wrong. The teacher may sometimes, give a soft response to that, but sometimes if it doesn't work, then may give a strict response to the activity of the child. Similarly, authority means heavy. I mean, guru also, the word guru also actually means heavy. So because we will find so many devotees who will actually, and who will who will actually in the say, oh, you are doing so nice, you are so great devotee, you are so nice devotee, wonderful devotee, everybody will praise. Yes, that is good, that is they are doing for encouraging us. But somebody who is very close, or the spiritual master or so, they will always see the faults, they will always see our faults. Why? Because and they will always point, oh, you are doing like this, you're doing like this, it should be like this, it shouldn't be like this, always instructing us, or seeing our faults. Why is so? Because they want us to come to the perfect platform of Krishna, perfect Krishna consciousness, doing everything. The Krishna conscious person is perfect in everything. Whatever service one is doing, whatever one is doing is perfectly it's perfect. There's no just like Sri Prabhupada, no question of a mistake or something. It's perfect, simply perfect. And spiritual master wants us to come to that level. So spiritual master, or someone on under the spiritual master who may be instructing someone or so, they point out our mistakes. So that should be also taken in a positive way. So basically this was all related to proper authority. There is a system in the Varnashram institution by which before death one has to undergo the process of atonement for sinful acts. So as per scriptures or the Varnashram institution, under that, like even in the Vedic culture, if somebody is somebody has committed some very very sinful activity, then sometimes the king would punish them by, when they'll be put to death, the culprit may be put to death or behind the bars or something, whatever. So one may say, oh, this is very rude to put someone to death. But actually, it was also being done because in the Vedic culture, they knew about the Vedas. So it was also being done as per the scriptures. As here we are seeing the point that one has to undergo atonement for that sinful activity. Otherwise, they will be they'll have to suffer in their coming lives. So if they have undergone the atonement, then they're freed from that sinful reaction. Okay, then 44th verse, we are almost ending about to coming to the end of this chapter. Okay, this is 44th verse. Aho bata mahatpapam kartum vyavasita vayam yad rajya sukhalobhena hantum swajanam udyata. Synonyms: aho, alas, but how strange it is, mahat, great, papam, since, kartum, to perform, vyavasita, have decided, vayam, we, yat, because, rajya sukha lobhena, driven by greed for royal happiness, hantum, to kill, swajanam, kinsman, udyata, trying. Translation: Alas, how strange it is that we are preparing to commit greatly sinful acts. Driven by the desire to enjoy royal happiness, we are intent on killing our own kinsmen. Purport. Driven by selfish motives, one may be inclined to such sinful acts as the killing of one's own brother, father, or mother. So that is happening in the present Kali Yuga. There are many such instances in the history of the world, but Arjuna, being a saintly devotee of the Lord, is always conscious of the moral principles and therefore takes care to avoid such activities. So I think this is very clear. Yadi mam apratikaram ashastram shashtapanaya dhartarashtrarane hanyustanme shama taram bhavet tanme shema taram bhavet. Synonyms: yadi, even if, mam, me, apratikaram, without being resistant, ashastram, without being fully equipped, shastrapanaya, those with weapons in hand, dhartarashtra, the sons of Dhritarashtra, rane, on the battlefield, hanyu, may kill, yat, that, may, for me, shemataram, better, bhavet, would be. Translation: better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra, weapons in hand, were to kill me unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield. Purport: it is a custom according to the Kshatriya fighting principles that an unarmed and unwilling foe should not be attacked. Arjuna, however, decided that even if attacked by the enemy in such an awkward position, he would not fight. He did not consider how much the other party was bent upon fighting. All these symptoms are due to soft-heartedness resulting from his being a great devotee of the Lord. So generally one who is unarmed, whose weapons have fallen or so, or who is not willing to fight, the opposite party is not going to attack such such side. The foe is not or the opposite side, they will not attack such a in such a situation. But Arjuna is like, oh, even if in such a situation they want to attack me or kill me, I'm okay, but I don't want to fight. So Prabhupada mentions that such symptoms in Arjuna shows the soft-heartedness of a devotee. Earlier also we have seen in the verse, there was Prabhupada mentions about soft-heartedness of devotee, and then from a other point of view mentions also that attachment to kinsmen. So that is for a conditioned soul like us, but for a devotee like Arjuna, it's soft-heartedness. Because practically, if we see some ordinary person, if somebody has tried to give them poison, somebody has tried to kill them, somebody has taken all their property, somebody has insulted their wife, and so on, which ordinary person will actually step back when it comes, when the time of revenge comes? An ordinary person will always be like, when I'll be looking for every opportunity to take revenge. But Arjuna is now everything is set, they are on the battlefield, but he's still let us just forget whatever they have done. I'm okay to just why to fight the battle unnecessarily. So no ordinary person will try to take such a will think such a thing. 46th verse. Sanjay uvacha evam uktarjuna sankhye ratopastha upavishat srijya sa sharam chapam shoka samvigna manasa. Synonyms: Sanjay uvacha, Sanjay said, evam tas uktva, saying, Arjuna sankhye, in the battlefield, ratha or chariot, upaste, on the seat, upavishat, sat down again, vishruja, putting aside, sa sharam, along with arrows, chapam, the bow, shoka, by lamentation, samvigna, distressed, manasa, within the mind. Translation: Sanjay said, Arjuna, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrows and sat down on the chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief. Purport: while observing the situation of his enemy, Arjuna stood up on the chariot, but he was so afflicted with lamentation that he sat down again, setting aside his bow and arrows. Such a kind and soft-hearted person in the devotional service of the Lord is fit to receive self-knowledge. So he was standing when he was seeing, both the armies sides. And but after all these things, like he spoke his emotions and everything, whatever that, and we saw different symptoms like hair standing on end. Prabhupada also mentions he was almost like crying. So after this, after speaking all these um, words to Krishna, he cast aside his bows and arrows and sat down there. And okay, thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purpose to the first chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So this was the end of this particular chapter. Next chapter we will see from second chapter onwards. Krishna actually starts giving instructions to Arjuna. When Arjuna in 2.7th verse, he voluntarily accepts the position of a disciple and accepts Krishna as his spiritual master. And after that, we'll see how and what Krishna is instructing. Thank you so much, Matajis. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dhanavad pranam.